All right, we got another good one. Check this one over here. Trouble California officers having records scrubbed, receiving payouts. Yeah. What have I heard this before? Yeah. Oh, we've heard it before, cops getting their records expunged, with a clean slate, getting payouts when they quit, like the 3 police officers who quit in Tacoma, who quit and still got $500,000 to quit. And these were 3 officers, remember, that unalive Manny Ellis, and they were found not guilty. They were exonerated. And one of those cops trying to become a police officer for Thurston County of Olympia. But people found out that real quick, and he got outed, and he had no choice to quit. See, it's cops like that. Any dirty cops like that, it's called, they should be put on the Brady list. Let's get to it.
There's a disturbing new report on police corruption in California. It says it's uncovered a hidden system which can help cover up misconduct by officers, let them move on to law enforcement jobs across the country. It's known as, quote, clean record agreements.
Yep,
They allow
it's called clean slate.
to leave their jobs with their records scrubbed, often with financial payouts.
It's called sponge.
Now is Katie Roosh, one of the reporters who broke the story in an investigation by the San Francisco Chronicle and UC Berkeley's investigative reporting program. Katie, good morning. First, I want to say I read the article, one of the best pieces of investigative journalism I've read in a long, long time. Thank you so much for coming on. I read the article. For viewers who might not be aware, how widespread do you believe the use of this clean record agreement? How common is that?
Well, we investigated it in California, one of the states that employs one of the most police officers in the country. But when we were doing our research, we did discover these agreements in almost every state in the country. Some of the largest agencies have signed these agreements, so it's not just a California problem.
You mentioned this is outside of California. Do you know other states? I know there's another part of this investigation coming out, so I just wanted to check with you first.
Yes, we haven't done a widespread investigation into these records in other states because these records are obviously really difficult to get. They're confidential. Sure. They have all these confidentiality provisions, but we do know, states like Nevada, Louisiana, New York, and also officers from California coming from California law enforcement agencies going.
Yeah, it's kind of like, confidential, like it's very hard to get records like that. It reminds me of, you'll see, the doctor-patient privilege, where it's confidential. You have to get like a subpoena or court order to get the records, stuff like that.
To other states with these agreements, with their records whitewashed.
Your story lays out a system that whitewashes police misconduct. It protects problem police officers. What are the benefits of maintaining the system for the police departments that you reported on?
Well, for the police departments, it's really a difficult decision, but it's a financial decision for them. They say that it's really difficult because of all the protections for police officers in California, especially with the unions. It's very difficult for them to fire a police officer. And so when they want to get rid of an officer, they're faced with this decision of, do we spend $1 million to fight?
And it's very hard for a cop to lose his qualified immunity.
And whitewash their record, give them a cash payout, and let them go somewhere else. And they make that difficult.
And the thing about, like I said, it's hard, almost impossible. A cop would have to do something outrageous or blatantly knowing violating a person's rights or doing misconduct. And Trump wants to, when he becomes president, he wants to the point where an officer cannot lose that qualified immunity. I mean, that's crazy. Like I said, it's already ridiculously hard, almost impossible, to sue a cop and have him lose a qualified immunity. But Trump wants to make it the point where they don't lose a qualified no matter what.
Decision time and time again.
You laid out specific examples of police officers that this happened to. They experienced it themselves. You report that over half the officers with these clean record agreements got lump sum payouts totaling $23.7
kind of like 3 officers in Tacoma, when they were exonerated, to get $500,000 a pop.
The cost of firing bad police officers?
I think that's a great question. It's actually really expensive to go through litigation to fire a police officer. I've talked to so many people.
And the thing was, where did all that money come? Taxpayers coming out of our pockets.
So when they are spending, say, $300,000 to give to an officer accused of misconduct, that is a small price to pay for them compared to the $1 million that they would have to spend to prove that they were right in firing the officer.
I want to mention to our viewers that News Nation reached out to the San Francisco Police Department. We have not heard back. The California Commission on Peace Officer Standards had no comment as well. What is being done to address these clean record agreements that we're seeing in your state of California?
I can't say anything definitive at the moment that's being done, but I do know that a lot of these officers who were outlined in the story are facing consequences. I also know that there are a lot of conversations going on in the legislature right now about these agreements and what can be done to address them.
Like I mentioned a moment ago, this is just the first part of your reporting, and I urge our viewers to read this investigative journalism, this report from you. What else are you hoping to uncover?
I really think we want to look at this.
Well, it's just kind of like when Kevin Dave didn't, he didn't face any charges or anything like that. He wasn't even indicted at all. The prosecutor decided not to indict Kevin Dave, even though people were calling that he should be arrested for when he struck and killed Janavi Kandula when he's going 76 miles an hour in 25 zone. And people were calling and crying for Daniel Otter to be fired, but it took over a year for Seattle PD to do anything about Daniel Otter. You know, the guy that was mocking, saying that she had limited value. Oh, just write a check for $11,000.
The system widespread. We want to look at this system that's currently going on, and we want to look at this system in other states, how it's impacted when there aren't as robust unions in different states across the country. And the other thing that our investigation is looking at is not only these cash payments that are going to officers, but some officers getting disability pensions that are meant to be for officers who are injured in the line of duty and can no longer work. Officers accused of misconduct are also getting that to kind of sweeten the deal.
Oh, yeah, just like the 3 officers in Tacoma, they still keep their pensions.
Back on this show. Katie Roosh, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to...
All righty. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. My job. Peace out.